Greetings. Welcome to today's episode of my new series titled There is Only One Clear Path to Start Growing the Jamaican Economy by 10% each year, every year, for the next 10, 20, or even 30 years. What is that path? I'll come back to that in a bit. But today's topic is the humongous tourism expansionism in the Caribbean tourism market, but Jamaica is asleep since the pandemic. Now, for today's presentation, I will reference an article by the Caribbean Journal, and the title of the article is "The U.S. Virgin Islands, Dominican Republic, Lead Caribbean Travel Boom," by the Caribbean Journal staff, September 13, 2023. I will just read paragraph first before I make a comment. It reads thus: Caribbean tourism is sizzling right now, and the region is seeing double-digit growth over pre-pandemic levels, according to a new report from air ticketing analytics firm ForwardKeys. The company says it is predicting significant growth in the Caribbean in the fourth quarter of this year, driven by destinations like the Dominican Republic, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Curacao, among others. The Dominican Republic is projected to see 54% in international arrivals in the fourth quarter as compared to the same period in 2019. So the Dominican Republic is expecting to grow 54% in the last quarter of 2023 above the pre-pandemic levels. And Jamaica is still struggling to overcome pre-pandemic levels. There were 6 countries that had bounced back fully at the end of 2022. But Jamaica wasn't one of those countries, and one of those countries was Dominican Republic, who they had recovered fully 2019 levels of tourism at the end of 2022. So was the U.S. Virgin Islands and 4 other countries. I'll read the next paragraph. It says, the U.S. Virgin Islands is projected to show 39% growth in international arrivals above 2019, while Curacao and Turks and Caicos are at 31 and 29% above pre-pandemic totals. That's followed by Aruba, the Bahamas, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Puerto Rico, and St. Martin to round out the region. So yes, Jamaica is then named as well as one of the countries who are doing well, but they are not doing as well as those countries who are growing by 54% or 31%, 29%. At the end of this year, Jamaica might just level back out 2019 levels, or maybe increase by 3% or 5% above 2019 levels. But the thing was that, we tend to boast a lot about small things in Jamaica, and the government doesn't have the guts or the ambition in the tourism industry to really rapidly increase it as they should do. We need to grow our tourism industry by at least 20% each year. We need to grow both our tourism industry and our agricultural industry by 20% each year. And if we do that, then the whole economy of Jamaica will be growing by 10% each year, every year. It's not hard to do. It can be done. Other countries are doing it. Read next paragraph. It says, diving into the numbers, several destinations are seeing growth in other areas. The U.S. Virgin Islands, Martinique, and Jamaica, for example, have seen the biggest growth in longer stays over 14 nights, with the U.S. Virgin Islands leading growth in that area of 25%. So Jamaica is seeing some longer stays, not as much as the U.S. Virgin Islands. But I think the longer stays may have been because of the rise in the bed and breakfast. People can stay a bit longer than 14 days. So that's where it comes in. But we're still not doing anything near what other countries are doing. For example, the next paragraph states that group travel is also making a comeback, up 39% compared to 2019, according to the report. Group travel is rebounding the strongest in the Dominican Republic, 100% of 2019 levels. St. Martin, 41% increase. And Aruba, 39% increase. This is being driven by travelers from the USA, Canada, and the United Kingdom, said Juan A. Gomez, head of marketing intelligence at ForwardKeys. So we have seen what's happening. And let me say this as well, that the reason why I do these videos is because a lot have showed me that the people in Jamaica are suffering unnecessarily. And that's the whole point of these videos, is about people of Jamaica. And that's the people of Jamaica. I'm talking about the people who are not that well qualified, not that well educated. You know, people can leave from Jamaica and come to England, where I am in England, or Canada or America. People who leave school and can hardly read and write can go abroad and work and build a big house in Jamaica, a mansion in Jamaica. You know why? Because England have suffered as well from people who are barely literate. There's a lot of Caucasians in England who were barely literate. And you know what? And they work in the factories and different places. And they go to Jamaica for a holiday. And they look, I know they look posh and they look official and they look rich and they look big and this and that. But in England, they're normal folks. They can't hardly read and write better than some Jamaicans. But the government provided for them, you know? And that's what they did in Jamaica as well. We need the government to provide for people who can barely read and write. And the best way to do it is through the tourism industry. The government keep talking about, we're gonna train 200 people in this high skill job and 1,000 people in that high skill job, and we're gonna take some people who have good levels of CXC. They might have 5 CXC with brilliant grades. We're gonna train them in this thing and that thing, and those are good, but those things are hardly even worth headlines. The headline should be that every year we are employing 100,000 people. That's what we should be doing. Tens of thousands of people, not a few hundred or a few thousand, but tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. That's what we need in Jamaica. So, and the best way to do it is through tourism industry. So the government need to spread the tourism around Jamaica. We need 100 hotels in Jamaica, 100 more hotels in Jamaica. We can have 100 more large hotels in Jamaica, around Jamaica, with 1,000 rooms each. 1,000 rooms each. 100,000 rooms each extra. But start at 40,000, and that should be great. Just start at 40,000. The government has been announcing these 15,000 hotel rooms before the pandemic started. So the same thing that they are announcing before the pandemic started, they're still doing the same announcement even now, same way. Nothing new is happening. So every 6 months they come and announce that we're gonna have these hotels going to be building. And they keep announcing the same thing over and over again for 3 years. And they are still under construction and some opening this year. But they should, those 15,000 hotels that have been franchised, given out already, since 2019, they should have an next 15,000 given out already by this year. You know, that's how they should do, they should keep doing that over and over again. You know, and that's why they're going to grow the economy. And it's not all about large hotels as well, because you want to develop the whole country. So when you put hotels in St. Elizabeth, you know, so 6,000 rooms in St. Elizabeth, 6 hotels with 1,000 rooms each in St. Elizabeth. You know, what you're gonna have after that, you're gonna have the parish gonna be developed, and you're gonna have an additional 6,000 bed and breakfast rooms available as well, because the region is now developed. And I can tell you that we are worse off now in St. Elizabeth than we were in 1970. There are less tourists today in Black River or St. Elizabeth than there were in 1970, in the 70s. As a child in the 70s, I was on the beach. My father had land on the beach, you know, and he's a fisherman, so we always in the sea, on the beach. And I used to see tourists come there and swim. Black River Safari, every day tourists come there and swim. Tourists come in the car, white people, and they swim and they're gone. You know, today that's finished, that's gone, that's done. In the 80s, I've seen diasporas come back home when I was a teenager in the 70s and 80s. I've seen diasporas come back from America and England and build hotels in St. Elizabeth in Black River, and half of them are closed now because there are less tourists now in those areas than they were in the 70s. Think about that. Why? You see, we need roads. We need the airport probably as well. But the hotel at this moment, once you announce the hotel, you need a franchise. Once you announce that, everything will change. So the government need to employ people, and that's where my concern is. That's where my calling is. That's where I'm a minister of religion, I'm a pastor, you know, and that's where my thing is from God. You know, people are suffering unnecessarily in Jamaica. People are suffering unnecessarily in Jamaica. Sometimes you go to the churches, and I go to Jamaica every year, almost every year, and sometimes the church full one year, and then church half the next year. You know why? People leave going to America to work in hotel and in the fields. So everything is unstable. The community is unstable in Jamaica because people are leaving and going away. The teachers, do you know what a teacher in a country area, when you have a teacher in a parish in Elizabeth with rural villages and communities, that teacher serves the community in many different ways. Not only in school, you know, they serve as different. I might want people to sign who can hardly read and write. You go to your teacher's house, and teacher gonna help him because, you know, his family. Their family is our friend. You know, they grow up together. You know, so a teacher is serve the whole community in Jamaica. It's not just about teaching in a school. Well, the nurse as well serve the whole community in Jamaica, in the country areas, country parishes like St. Elizabeth. It's not just about hospital. They serve the whole community as well. And when they leave, the community suffer. You know, so, you know, and I've seen that happen. I've seen it happen every year in Jamaica. When people leave, people who are, you know, intelligent, educated, when they leave, it mashes the whole country. And if you can employ an extra 300,000 people in Jamaica, because we have 725,000 people in Jamaica who are not working, over 700,000 people in Jamaica who are out of the employment market. Some are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and they're not working. They're not looking for work either because they don't know what for them to do. But if you put the hotels them there in those areas and give them training for 3 weeks, put them to work, that's great. They pay their pensions, they pay their we call it the housing thing, and they can get the land or house, you know, and they're good, they're cool, you know. So, and the roads, and you build those roads to those hotels in the country area, and you're gonna have a lot of diasporas now gonna go back to Jamaica and build houses because they are roads. A lot of diasporas don't want to go back home because there are no roads there to drive on. So the hotel industry, the tourism industry, is the way to grow the Jamaican economy by 10% per year, every year, for the next 10, 20, 30 years and beyond. God bless you. God bless Jamaica. God bless our Prime Minister. God bless the Parliament. And may God give our leaders the vision to see and to envision the thing, and to grow the economy and employ people. God bless you.